I'm going to call the meeting to order at 6:30. Good evening, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Given that it is the Battle of Alberta, and our viewership will probably be small compared to other Wednesday nights.
Everybody's watching UCP.
We are split streaming the game and council meeting.
Yeah, and we have UCP.
Yeah.
We have not, it's a tough crowd tonight. No pay-per-view buyers for us tonight. So that's okay. We've got a pretty big agenda and we're ready to go. So like I said, we're going to put the meetings in order, and in the spirit of reconciliation, we'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional territories of the people of Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta, which includes Blackfoot Confederacy members Siksika, Piikani, and the Kainai First Nations, the Stoney Nakoda of Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Wesley First Nations, the Dene of Tsuut'ina First Nations, the Métis, the Métis Nation Region 3, and all those that made Treaty 7 lands their home. So like I said, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. A friendly reminder for my admin and our admin and my council is our phones vibrate off, but please make sure to leave the horn on for when the Calgary Flames score. That would be, I'm just kidding. In the event of emergency, because we have guests, we will let you know. Obviously, our emergency exit's right here. If anything else happens, we'll be sure to inform you very quickly. And at this time, we will move right along to the agenda. Do we have any adoptions or addendas for tonight? No. Okay. I'll take a motion. Councillor Lalonde.
Even motion accepted as presented.
Thank you very much. All those in favor to accept the agenda? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Moving right along to the adoption of the minutes for our last meeting, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Man, this is a good, yeah, it's just really good. If I could get a motion to adopt the minutes from that meeting, I would take that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Councillor Vandenhoek. All those in favor to adopt the minutes, thank you very much. And at this time, 6:33, we'll open the question period. And I'll just, did we receive any questions? Okay, we have not. Does our delegation have any questions for us for question period? I assume not. Okay, great. You never know. You never know. Okay, well, at 6:33, I will close the question period as we have nobody in attendance because of the Flames and Oilers game. That's the only reason. Okay, and we'll move right along to 6.1, our delegation, which is the Oilfields High School Yellowfish Road Program, Leave No Trace. So I'm just going to open the floor to you guys, if I could.
Just grab some.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
This folks is doing that. I'll just start here. So initially, like I had my second year at Oilfields, but I still feel like it's my first minute because I came in during the lockdown, and so I'm just getting to know the kids. I don't they wouldn't recognize these guys at one time because they were in mass on for so long. But I joined a club with a really strong recycling program at school that they built, and they had the shop program building all these containers. It was kind of growing and growing. I really neat to see, and they met weekly. So I said, I got to go to this meeting and check this out. So I went up there, and we sort of morphed from that into the Back to Earth group. We got a title, we got shirts now, they're soon to be released, and we just kind of add a little more structure to it. And then it just started growing. The kids kept coming, energy kind of kept growing and growing. And so all the teachers get out of the way for the most part at that point in time and go. And so at that point, I will segue me into the kids who are going to take you through the slideshow. I'll do the rest.
Thanks, Mike.
Hello.
Hi.
So I am Amber, and would we be able to go to the mix?
Mike's got the mic for you.
And also, just one thing I wanted to see too as well. We've been working with, we have fortunate to have a woman who worked in the community group, and as well Charity Taylor, who's our my person for the district and for JSU team lead. And so she's been working with us. We're starting to use more business sponsored into our programs.
So this is our logo. As part of the logo, the students have come together and built 3 pillars of this program: educate, inspire, and achieve. So as part of these pillars, educate, we had teachers and we joined groups and we educated the students on this matter. Inspire, we inspired the students and we designed and thought of the programs that we were going to work on. And then achieve, we are working on those projects that are in this presentation and working really on that. Yes.
I'm Allie, and the LSF is Learning for a Sustainable Future, and they were like seminars that we went to and like Zoom meetings online. That was also with a bunch of kids from Ontario and BC, and we learned about like sustainability and clean water and different programs and stuff. And then we made different programs that we could do and stuff, and we thought of different things so we could, and then we like showed them the stuff we thought of, and they gave us $1,000 grants that we could do those programs and stuff to help with clean water and things.
So a couple of these programs we have created are the Yellowfish Rope, the Leave No Trace, and the Shoreline Cleanup. And we are going to be joining with CIM to inspire the younger kids to also join us with these programs as well.
So the Yellowfish Rope program we were doing, and basically we have these stencils that say rainwater only or rain only, and we put them by sewers, or not sewers, drains and stuff, to let people know to only like let natural rainwater in it and not pesticides or soap or anything, because it goes directly into the river and it affects the fish and things. And then we're also going to like people's doors and tell them about it and educating them about it. And also, if they're not home, we can like put those on their doors and it kind of explains it so people know what it's about and what's going on. Yeah.
The kids, we've got 4 kids. And,
It's like expensive. And we used the money that we got from the grant in the LSF program to buy stuff to do and stuff. And with it, we're also teaching people, teach the CIM kids and other kids about it, that they can help do it too. That was the first step. We went out and we like mapped where some of the drains were and stuff so that we knew where we could do it. And then we started going out and painting a couple of them, but we haven't done very many.
we did just on the, just south of Plainfield, CIM, we just started down the street there. We're leaving the blocks east of CIM to Government Street, the little guys, the littles as we call them, the kindergarten kids that we'll be working with and educating. So they just got that every year in school. And we're just going to kind of start one segment at a time, just because of time this year. It's been strange. Just rather robbed it like a week, a month disappears. So we're just always going to be years that we'll be counting the clock going on. And plus, these guys will then take over and be the leaders, and we get out of the way again. And well, educate the kids coming in every year and keep cycling through. And the maps too. And I can't remember who it was last year. I wondered on this in spring last year when we got locked out. And we had been given some great maps by the town of Boston, so we were using all the different ones are fantastic, so we'll be using that to kind of guide. And the kids just wander around and learn about their ecosystem and as well their watershed. It's very interesting when you stop and take a look at where water actually flows in this town. And it's been kind of discovered them.
So the Leave No Trace program is us going out to the mountains and anywhere and seeing litter, trash everywhere, pick it up, recycle it, do what you need with it to get it out of our habitat with the animals and everywhere we want to go enjoy our recreation. So we bought these cars
That was hilarious.
and what it is there's these little tags that we give to anybody to let them know what they're leaving, what we need to leave what's there, pick up what's not supposed to be there. We are planning on training ourselves by the teachers to train us to learn how to teach younger kids as well, again, with the CIM, with other students, with other schools as well, to teach them how to leave no trace so that we can keep enjoying our outdoor recreation.
There would be internationally certified trainers for Leave No Trace, fellow master educator. So I guess part of the grant money we got use the money to cover their first year of Leave No Trace membership, as well as all like cars over in Boulder, Colorado, in the Center for Trace Ethics. And so these guys are all certified. And a really important part of the program in school is that we want to get kids credentials like this, but they have to put it in their electronic portfolio. It's called My Blueprint. And part of the exit thing is they have to do a thing before they get the high school credits. They're tied to this as well. So it's really neat for them to do that. They articulate certifications and job interviews, next steps in life. It's just all part of the volunteer hours as well, which go towards high school credits and also the data. So it's a lot of fun to do. And then again, to have that for years. So hard to just have that kind of experience once when we're through it.
So another thing that we are working on is the shoreline cleanup. That is a national program that is basically organizing for groups to go to different shorelines and clean up around the water. So what we are targeting is the Cheat River. And we are organizing a day to go there and clean it up. And then afterwards, we're going to have a celebration for all three programs that we've had done.
The end. When the kids designed this, they built this. I know one of the girls went home and spent the whole weekend designing this. I'm so impressed with that. Again, that concept of definitely inspired achieve just drives everything. You can't open up anything without seeing those words. These guys came up with that on their own. Impressive. Thank you.
Questions and answers?
Yeah, that was really impressive. The three of you are extremely well spoken. And I'm sure you practiced a little bit and it definitely showed. So kudos to you girls. That was really, really well done. My daughter's in kindergarten. And she goes on all these walks too.
CIM.
So yeah,
That's the program we're working on.
yeah. So I've been hearing a little bit about this, and it's just great. I love that it's wonderful. Obviously, the two schools are so close because you can take advantage of that. But for you guys, both the schools, but for you guys to be proactive and touch base with them and get them involved, seeing how that's going to help long term. I see my daughter sitting in any one of those chairs right now in 10 years, and it's a really cool thing to think about. So thank you for all that. Do we have any questions or comments? Councillor Bain?
Are you familiar with the Nexus project? No? Okay. 2 years ago, I think they came out with a suite of learning materials. I think there were 6 short videos to do with water and various interactions. There's a couple of games, apparently. I've only briefly looked at the site. It's geared towards both students and the general public. It might be something that you could use. Also, are you familiar with the Bow River Basin Council?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I attend as many of them as I can. The science forum tends to be a little technical, but you can still learn from it. And then the quarterly is much more geared towards us normal people. But, I shouldn't say it that way. Scientists are almost normal too. The, yeah, so it might be worthwhile for you to get onto their website. Their quarterly forums are free. They also are in touch with a variety of different agencies and clubs. And so
We're hoping to, at some way to add to, we want to do aquatic river monitoring on the river annually as well. Yes, do chemical physical tests on the water and just creating more institutes of that over time, just to be sort of the citizen scientists. They're more sort of low key version of scientists and yeah, get with kids on that. Getting involved.
If I may, please do.
Doing the bird counts and stuff like that. And start doing that. With the bird
Yeah.
scientific stuff. So it's
you
new.
refer. That's the Nexus project website. And this gives an idea of the science form. That was the last science form. It's kind of technical, but I got a lot of good information from it.
Thank you, Councillor Bain. Anyone else? Deputy Mayor?
Where can we get the Bigfoot tag?
Yeah, I ordered 100 of them for this first round, but I will see if you can get a Bigfoot tag. You know where I we're stuff in and we'll get into, because that's the kids version of, like, because they have the principles, like the first principle is plan ahead and prepare for the adults, but the little kids, you say no before you go. And so we ordered educational booklets geared for younger kids that these guys will be taking, and I'll train them, and then they'll take those and create their own lesson plans to work with kids. And the tags are fun because they're such a neat calling card for the program. And it's just it's all ethics based. It's not based, it's just pure ethics. And if you do, like, you know, what you do in the wilderness when nobody's watching us, and try to hear from people's changing their line of thinking.
Yeah. Awesome.
You're any day.
Councillor Van.
I just think this is so cool that you guys are getting involved in it like this. I mean, my kid is also in the kindergarten, and you know, I know he really enjoys those times that you guys are spending with him. And like, just the fact that you're teaching the youth at such an early age to really like think about the ecosystem. I mean, I know in the last little bit with COVID, you go into the woods and it seems like everybody has just littered their entire campsite and left it there. And to have a different way of thinking for the youth, it makes you really, you know, makes you inspired for the future, right? Like it's really, I'm just excited. So yeah, good job, guys.
Any last words, Councillor? I know, I should talk last.
Well, thank
You
you.
can say it again, it's really like to hear it. Pump their tires, you're gonna take our jobs one day, they're gonna say, right here, right here.
Hope so.
And yes, and so our retirement homes.
We're working on affordable housing right now for that.
You guys give me hope for the future.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, and with mentors like the two of you, and you know, there's no, it's clear to see why we have so many successful stories like this coming out of the school. So thank you to the two of you as well for your sacrifices. As a teacher myself, I know that a lot of you only hear usually complaints, right? Nobody really calls to say, "Hey, you're doing a great job. You know, my daughter can multiply now. Thank you." You know, we don't hear that enough. So thank you to you too as well. And just even right now, taking the time from away from your families or, you know, your other commitments to be with the girls is a testament to your character. So thank you for taking the time. Before you go, I do have some certificates for each of you. So I can hand these out to you. We can take a picture together if you want, or you can just take a picture of the three of you. It doesn't matter to me.
That'd be the picture. That'd be good. If you're going into my blueprint, I'd be taking photos and gonna upload it.
Okay, so I've got Amber. And you're very welcome. Yeah, sorry. Let's do that. Yeah. We'll get together for a picture.
It's not about.
There you go, Alex. Thank you for all your hard work. All of the time. There you go. You're very welcome. You guys want to come up for a picture? Yeah, come on up. You guys look, what's that?
He's wearing a Flames hoodie underneath it.
Oh, what? Yeah,
He's wearing a Flames hoodie underneath. Get seen.
Don't
I was gonna wear
see
it.
this one you're wearing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you got, the two of you want to? Okay, sure, yeah, of course, of course.
Can I take one with yours, Verna?
I will get everybody in.
Got us check for a raise.
To do my hair. Yes.
Everybody okay with the social media?
Are we allowed to?
Yeah, I'll want something to say. We're all. I'll stand up behind them.
Yes, you should.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, got it.
Come on up, Daryl.
Yes, they do.
That's all.
Okay,
Their social media links are coming up.
perfect.
Great to see you. If I don't see you before.
See you tomorrow.
Well, Girls, thanks again. Thanks for all the commitment. Appreciate it. Mike, you're very welcome. Pleasure. Nice to meet you.
We're in touch about it. Yeah, please stop by anytime.
Okay,
Yes.
I will set it up and send it to you. Whenever you.
Yes, yeah, you did. Yeah, I did. They're smart. Theirs came early.
So I thought it. Managed, right, yeah.
I hope so. I don't know.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
I talked to him.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Like, yes, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm really cool.
So it just guys are
I'm
like
gonna get
seven for like.
Yeah, my kid is so excited. He's like, wait, you like in the movies when you fall into the thing? Oh, yeah. All that. He's probably gonna take all the change.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have a great night. Oh,
Breaking news,
oh,
Premier Kenny has just stepped down.
sorry, we had a technical difficulty there.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, nobody's watching us.
Okay, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Okay, so that was a really good feel-good story there. I really commend those girls for that, all that additional work. That's awesome.
The fact that they're doing it with kindergartners is so cool.
And I don't remember being that creative in high school.
No,
No.
I mean, I don't remember doing anything creative in high school.
It's almost like a generation re-educating generation. When we grew up, the last 30 years of our lives has been reduce, reuse, recycle. That was the model you learned.
Yeah.
And then globally, as everything's falling apart, with supply chain issues, you can't recycle this, you can't do this, you can't do that. You're fighting these battles and you think you're losing. To have somebody at teenage years working down to the kindergarten years to start that re-education all over again and get people on board. It is good to see, especially in the local community of ours.
Well said. Very well said. Okay, let's move right along here. To 7.2. Bylaw 2022-07, the tax rates bylaw. And I will pass this one over to administration. Bring us up to speed.
Okay, so for some of you, this is your first tax rate bylaw that you will have been passing. Last, on our May the 4th regular council meeting, council passed the 2021 operating and capital budgets. So with that amounts of, actually, Brenda, can you open up that little folder? Please. Thank you. And so your operating budget is in the amount, oh, you have to make that a little bit bigger. Your operating budget was significantly reduced as per the council requirement. Your expenses are at $8,370,000 74,000 and change. The internal revenue that we receive is almost $5 million on that. When you do your tax rate bylaw, you also have to take a look at other monies that you anticipate to receive. We look at our tax penalties and costs that we receive money from, and our franchise fees and our interest. So we add those all up and we take them off, and that's what presents in front of you for your budget or for your tax rate in the first piece of your bylaw. Is everybody okay with that?
Very much so.
Okay. All right. And so with having said that, our municipal mill rate is down points from last year's mill rate, and it will be, if council passes this tax rate bylaw, it'll be at 7.226. The non-residential has also been reduced to 8.91 or 971. In there, though, there is also a difference of the total tax rate, because there is the school requisitions, there is the seniors requisition, and there's the designated industrial property piece that we also have to pay to the province, and that's gone up significantly. But having said that, the total tax rate for residential is going to see a decrease in most average households. And as well as the non-residential, you will also see a decrease in some of the non-residential rates. And if council would like to review what that looks like, I'd be happy to share that at this point in time. Yes? Okay, do you want to bring up the scenario?
She wasn't here.
I wasn't here.
Okay. Oh, your scenarios?
I read the
You read the email. Okay. So you'll see that our mill rate has been reduced. Last year, we were, our municipal one, we were at 7.733. This year, we're reduced to 7.226. And our non-res has been, sorry, non-res was at 2.668, and it is, sorry, no, it was at 3.965 and reduced to 2.590. So both of those have been reduced, but when we add in the other school requisitions and total tax rates, that's where you will see the amounts of 9,793 and 12.854. Okay. In there also, we have our annex properties, and our annex properties, we have to wait until Foothills County has done their assessment and their tax rate bylaws. We have 9 different properties, and we have an agreement for up to 25 years. We're on year 2 of that 25-year agreement to keep the mill rate the same until there's a triggering event, which would be any type of development or redevelopment of those particular lands, which then would trigger an event to bring them into the municipal tax rate. So having said all of that, the bylaw, 2207, tax rate bylaw is before you for first reading.
Thank you, CAO Brown. Please go ahead, Heather.
Could you just quickly explain DIP for those that may not understand what DIP stands for?
Designated industrial property is a new, relatively new line item that's been put out from the province, where we have infrastructure that's underneath the ground that is considered designated industrial assessment, and the province collects those monies and invoices us accordingly.
Thank you.
Floor is open, council. Councilor May.
Would you like a motion?
Yes, please.
The council agreed to bylaw 2022-07, the 2022 tax rates bylaw, first reading. And I have no further comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor May. Would anyone like to speak to the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of bylaw 2022-07? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Would anyone care to give us a second reading? Councilor Thompson.
that council agreed to give bylaw 2022-07 second reading.
Would anyone like to speak to the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Carried unanimously. Would anyone like to give us a third and final? No, we're not third and final, excuse me. I'll pass over to Councillor Long, sorry.
I'm going to give a motion that council agree to present bylaw 2022-07 for this reading at this time. This motion must be unanimously carried in order to proceed with third and final reading of this meeting.
Thank you, Councillor Long. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Now I will ask Councillor Brandon to give that motion. Thank you, sir.
That council agree to give bylaw 2022-07 third and final reading.
Thank you very much, Councillor Brandon. Does anyone like to speak to the motion? Councillor Thompson.
I'd really like to thank administration for going through all the different scenarios to help our residents so that we're kind of staying at an even keel. I really like how we've done this, simply because it kind of does keep us at that even keel. If we dropped it too low and then say next year we were in a position where assessments really dropped, and that would put us in a kind of precarious position. Whereas keeping it kind of level at this with a slight decrease, it does help a little bit, both on the residential and non-residential side. And so I'm very, very pleased with moving forward with these mill rates. So thanks administration for all the work that you put into coming up with this solution for our tax rates. And I'd like to say it's not that we are trying to get closer to the 80-20 split, but you know, in the times that we're in, I think this is a very good solution, and we'll be moving forward. So that's my comments.
Well said, Councillor Thompson. Thank you. And yes, a huge thank you to both to all administration for this. And at that time, no further comments. I will ask all those in favor. Carried unanimously. Thank you, everybody. A big, big thank you to administration. Okay, let's carry on. Go back to my agenda here. Okay, action items. Okay, 8.1. Here. MCCAC EV charging station rebate program. I believe CO Brown's going to give us a bit of an update.
And so,
Please do.
as council is aware, we've had this conversation previously. Council authorized us to move ahead with the application for the rebate program and the grant program through MCCAC. They did request that further information come back to council to explain how the program would work and how it would impact the community or impact taxes or how they would be paid for. We put that information available for you in the RFD. Having said that, we have picked our locations and we did qualify. So we qualified for 160,000. So that will give us 4 EV charging stations with council's approval. Can be working on an installation over the next few months. So the project would be completed this year. The locations that have been selected would be the fast charger. So the extremely fast charger would be located at the arena because the electrical transmission loads actually are higher at the arena. So they'll be able to support the fast chargers without any upgrades to the electrical infrastructure.
Yes.
By Fortis. Can I finish?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. There would be 1 charging station. It would be a dual charger down at the park and ride location, and the convoy that's already been in place with the building that's been going on there. And there would be 2 level 2 chargers that would be put in at the town office as the locations. With council support of this project.
Yes.
These chargers that we are going to get, with council's approval, they will be user based, so they will be able to be able to slide their cards or put the credit cards in or tap in with their car or whatever it is that the technology uses these days, to be able to pay for their charges on their own. So very limited cost to the town. We are still looking at potentially aligning with ACTO, which was a third-party agreement for a 3-year program so that the operational costs for the actual electricity would be paid for. The challenge that we would have is the the distribution and transmission charges would be the ones that would be impacted.
Thank you. Councilor Vandenhoek.
Question about the fast charger at the arena. Is there a way to hook it up from the arena so that we can offset all the solar that's on there?
Yeah.
Or it has, that's what you guys are planning to do? Okay, so that's, yeah. It's not just a standalone thing. Okay, perfect. That's all I wanted to know.
Good question.
Same here, right? I guess.
Cool, Councilor
Where
Thompson.
would the arena would it be located, like out front on the east side?
I haven't got the actual pieces on the location of where it's going to be at the arena, and it'll be where the closest place to install conduit that will support the fast charger. Yeah.
So another question is, why would we have just one at the park and ride and 2 here? Why wouldn't we not have it the other way around?
Lots of thought went into why that would happen. The electrical load at the parking lot, it's only going to be able to support one. That's number one. The second piece of that, and it'll be a dual charging. So you can have 2 cars with 1 charging station. Okay, and so we anticipate that at the park and ride location, which would be adjacent to a day use area, would be suitable for 2 electric vehicles at this point in time, charging up and then enjoying the day use area. If you have 2 here at the town office, it's closer access to downtown, therefore bringing more people from an economic development point of view into our downtown core.
I get that, but I just worry about the parking. Like, I've seen this parking lot full and there's meetings and, pardon me?
It'll help long-term fleet vehicles.
It's a good thought.
Okay.
Good questions, Councilor Thompson. Any other questions, or does someone want to give me a motion?
We'll try to,
Especially the fleet vehicles, the fact that you're already thinking ahead like that, that's huge.
Really?
That just blew my mind a little bit.
what's that?
The fact that you already are thinking ahead of the fleet vehicles. Even here. So, you guys,
It's really
you guys, yeah. Good work.
okay. Too much. Someone give me a motion? Deputy Mayor,
That council accepts the report.
I don't like that one.
The council agrees to, well, there's more coming. There's
Oh,
two-
yeah,
two
okay.
separate ones. Sorry. It's a fact.
okay. Would anyone like to speak to it?
Rule book, yeah.
Councilor Thompson?
She's right, it says minutes recommended one
No.
and 2.
All those in,
Voting on it?
yeah, all those in favor? Okay, passed unanimously.
It is very right, it says right there, I didn't read, so. Shut my mouth.
Can I get another one?
I'll make that other one.
Thank you.
That council agrees to direct administration to move forward with the electric vehicle charging station program, with the locations as being the park and ride facility, the town administration office, and the ORA.
Wonderful. Does anyone want to speak to the motion? Deputy Mayor
I
Camper,
really like this.
thank you very much. That's great. Good energy, really good energy. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. I'm glad you like that one. Okay,
Having fun tonight.
it's good, it's good. Not have too much fun, you might make the third period. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, moving right along, 8.2, IEDC member appointments.
No.
Okay, so
Council committee.
Council committee representation, please, sir.
8.2.
8.2, oh, excuse me, I went to 8.3, my apologies. 8.2, councillor committee representation amendments. Yeah, I'm looking at it too. Okay, I will pass this one back to admin, or do you want me to take this one? We need to make an appointment? Like, or we need to appoint
I have
somebody?
time on Friday. No, we can do that. If that's okay with you.
Please do, go ahead. Sue.
All right, so, with the resignation of, Andrew Dunning, I want to call Council Dunning here for a minute, but, it left some, vacancies in some of our appointments. Those vacancies were with the Emergency Management Committee, the Intermunicipal, Committee, the Highwood Management Pack, Highwood Management Plan Pack, which is a water committee, and the Intermunicipal Economic Development Committee. There was also, he was also as a alternate in various committees, so which was Parks and Rec and the Crescent Point Foundation. We have done a call out at this point in time for the IEPC. I believe Deputy Mayor Floyver had suggested that she would be interested in taking on that position. We are also recommending that the Highway Management Plan Pack be left vacant at this point. They don't meet very often. They haven't been until the modeling of the Sheep River becomes completed. Then they will not be active within our area. The IMC meeting is a quarterly daytime meeting that's called, but it's at the call of one of the municipalities. It's our negotiating committee. So depending, I think what else needs to call the next one.
Are we looking at new terms of reference or a new bylaw for that one yet?
It's not completed yet.
Okay.
There was a new terms of reference that was created, but there has been no stamp of approval. I think when the bylaw came, Councillor Thompson, Black Diamond was the only municipality that actually signed off on it. So that's still in the works.
Okay.
The Emergency Advisory Committee is actually just as called. It will be being called as we go through closer to some of our negotiations, because there will be times where we need to be able to integrate our emergency management plans, and that will be part of the committee's job to do. Now, Parks and Recreation Committee, they meet Monday nights, the second Monday, I believe, of every month.
Third
Third Monday of every month, and that would be only an alternate appointment. And Crescent Point, I believe, is pretty much coming to its end of time. And so there will be very limited meetings on that particular committee. So we need to vote some people. Is there anything I missed?
Councillor Long.
For the Emergency Advisory Committee, I throw my hat in the ring for that one, as I sat on the group for the first term. So I'm moderately familiar with its actions and acts and the changes that have come through in the last 4 years. So I'll be happy to take that one.
Is that, would anyone else like to take it, or can we make that appointment? Okay, Daryl, or Councillor Long, if you're comfortable with that, I see no reason why we'd be happy to. Okay, he's in.
It's not, I'm all out of room.
Oh,
I'll fix it.
You're done, Daryl, you're stacked.
Can you take your
Is there an
IEPC?
alternate on that? Oh, sorry. I just noticed, okay. You don't have to appoint a new alternate.
No.
Okay.
IMC? Anybody want to be on the negotiating team?
Oh, I'm already on that one, so I can do it. How many do they need for that one?
We need to.
Still an alternate on the main or two?
No, we just need the main.
2 and 2.
You both, you have to show up.
It's a full forum or full attendance forum, so we have 2 alternates for that.
I don't mind sitting on that as an alternate.
Or no, we need a person on.
And an alternate?
No, we've already got the alternates. If any of the alternates would like to move up to actually be a person on the committee, that would be suffice as well. We don't want to volunteer people.
I'm gonna let council start with this.
If I could,
Yes, please.
so when I did this chart, the bright yellow ones that are crossed out are the ones that were left vacant. And then we slid the green ones in for where the new ones could go, if you wish. So we just moved one over. I had slotted Councillor Lalonde in here because it is a daytime meeting. It can be moved. He is currently an alternate. So if this stays, this one gets crossed out, and then I moved it over to Councillor Thompson for the alternate position. So
Councilor Long.
Was the IMC the quarterly meeting?
yes.
I'll take it.
Okay. It's yours.
Okay, so then this would stand, and if Councillor Thompson's okay, she could be the other alternate.
Okay.
So the appointments
Oh, and then who
were
did we
agreed
do?
to.
This all happened before, yeah. Who did we put on emergency management as an idea?
It just got moved over to Daryl. Councillor Lalonde. Sorry, it's under Councillor Thompson's. I have to add a line in here.
Okay.
Okay.
Emergency management
Are you okay being the alternate?
as the alternate?
Mm.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Nope, we don't need an alternate. We have an alternate already.
Oh, we have an alternate. I'm sorry.
Councillor, or Deputy Mayor.
Need to
Coivier.
step up to be a member?
No, this is actually going under Councillor Lalonde's.
Oh,
I have to reformat my spreadsheet is full on that columns. The page is full.
And who wants to be, who did we say potentially? Ted, would you be interested in Parks and Rec alternate?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Does anybody want to be the Crescent Point Foundation alternate?
I'll take the alternate.
Okay,
Or you, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, whatever.
It doesn't matter.
I think there's only one more meeting, isn't there?
We don't have any more meetings scheduled, although there is apparently a little bit more money in another fund that we're thinking of transferring it, but I haven't heard anything.
You can put me on as an alternate if you want.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. That's it. Councilor Thompson,
I think we're good then.
Good.
So can I put a motion on?
please do.
Council agree to adopt the schedule of council committee representation as amended on May 18, 2022. Request of administration posted to the town's website and notify any committees of the affected by the changes.
Thank you, Councilor Thompson. Would anyone like to speak to the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much, everybody. Okay, moving right along. 8.3, IEDC member appointments. Shall I pass this over to admin or?
Sure. So a couple meetings ago, the IEDC amended their terms of reference to increase their membership to, I think, to 8, if I can,
At large, yeah.
8 at large, versus the number that's, I think there's 4 at large right now. Yeah, so they doubled their numbers. So they went through some processes. They have a vetting process to ensure that people who are applying to the IEDC do have business acumen. And they are recommending the appointment of Amy Gates, Julia Reimer, and Barb Hazelfeld to the IEDC for 3-year terms.
Thank you. Okay, does anyone want to speak to it or someone give me a motion? Councilor Lalonde.
I'll speak to it and then give you the motion.
Please do.
The 3 that we're recommending tonight come from such a diverse background it really sits well with the sitting board of the IEDC to reach that eclectic niche, if you will, because you've got strong business, you've got a huge sustainability and perma growing gardens experience. We've got a realtor on board now, which is going to give us a pulse of the community, which is great to have. So we, as the committee, are very excited to have these three join us. So on that note, I'm going to recommend that council agree to accept the Intermunicipal Economic Development Committee's recommendation to appoint Amy Bates, Julia Reimer, and Marv Hasenfeld to the Intermunicipal Economic Development Committee for a 3-year term commencing May 18th, 2022.
Thank you, Councilor Luan. Any further comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Carried unanimously. Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Daryl, and everyone on that committee for all that hard work. You guys have been busy. Councilor Thompson?
And our administration will let them know they've been appointed? Or does it go back to IEDC?
Back, Monique, I believe, is handling the correspondence.
Cool. Okay. 8.4. 2022 Summer Municipal Leaders Caucus. Quick read. I just had a question about the dates, if I could ask admin. Do we need to, somebody need to attend each of these or just pick one? Okay. I would potentially be interested in the June 21st Medicine Hat one. It falls on a day that I'm available. So if council wants me to go to that one, then I sure I could work it out.
I can go to Didsbury on the 22nd.
Okay.
Right on. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. So do I need to give myself a motion?
No. Just,
Councilor Thompson, go ahead.
would you be wanting to stay in Medicine Hat like the night before, seeing as how they start early in the morning?
I would
Didsbury as well.
I would prefer, that would be a budget conversation. It says we have money in the budget, but I don't know, would that include accommodations?
You have a travel and subsistence budget for any time you attend conferences.
Okay,
Just on the motions
thank you,
that
yes.
are listed. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so, Councilor Long.
The council agreed to request administration to register Mayor Brendan Kelly for the June 21st Medicine Hat Summers Caucus and Deputy Mayor Veronica Poiber to the June 22nd Didsbury location for the Summer Municipal Leaders Caucus.
Okay, would anyone like to speak to those? Okay, all those in favor? Great, carried unanimously. Do we need a motion for the budgeting aspect of that? Okay, perfect.
You do have to ask for us to arrange accommodations for those who want arranged accommodations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Councilor Long?
The council agreed to request that administration arrange accommodations for both Mayor Brendan Kelly and Deputy Mayor Veronica Poiber to attend the 2022 Summer Municipal Leader Caucuses in their designated towns.
Thank you.
Please.
I do not require a copy.
Okay, and just for the mayor.
Upgrade. What? Oh, geez, like that, like that. Okay. Thank you for the motion. I think that's it. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you, everybody. Cool. Looking forward to that. And I'll probably talk to you guys about renting the old terrain. Okay.
It's a safe trip.
See how quick we can get her. No.
You got it fixed.
All of it. Last time times I've had it. Nice little area. Why, you're not gonna put the tree line on top of it? Oh, okay. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, yes. I really didn't believe I did these. Okay, mayoral proclamation of Seniors Week 2022. If anyone would like to speak to it, okay.
I can give a motion.
Deputy Mayor, please do.
That council agreed to proclaim June 6th to 12th, 2022 as Seniors Week in Black Diamond.
Thank you very much.
That
Does anyone,
Council agreed, then thank you.
would anyone like to speak to the motion? All those in favor? Passed unanimously. Do I need to?
Oh, you just
Perfect.
read it.
Good, that's what I thought.
Gotta be one of the simplest ones is ever.
It is, it is. Where it was, yeah, well, the next one's not so simple, yeah, that's not so simple. Okay, declaration. In honor of the past, the present and future contributions of the seniors of this community and throughout Alberta, I hereby declare June 6th to 12th, 2022 to be Seniors Week in the town of Black Diamond. Mayor Brendan Kelly. Wonderful, okay. Let's keep going. 8.6, World Elder Abuse Awareness Day.
That not been in the same week. It's more than. Have we not made Seniors Week?
Okay, if anyone wants to speak to it, they're more than welcome to. Councillor Thompson?
Council agreed to proclaim June 15, 2022 as World Elder Abuse Awareness Day in Black Diamond.
Thank you, Councillor Thompson. Would anyone like to speak to the motion? Councillor Bain?
Some of these proclamations are just, as far as I'm concerned, getting way out of hand. Rather than reading the entire dictionary practically, we should consider letting some of these organizations know that they're getting a little carried away.
Councillor Thompson?
I tend to agree, because reading these out sometimes, that's how come I was kind of saying, if we make a motion declaring it, that should suffice, and we could post the proclamation somewhere.
Thank you, Councillor Thompson.
Yes.
Make an amendment to the motion.
Go ahead.
That we post this proclamation on our social media.
Perfect.
Okay. Councillor Bain?
The administration hasn't said anything, but I know that in the past you've said that if we declare something to be whatever week, we're supposed to read it out. Is there rules? Are we breaking any rules by doing it this way?
No,
No,
Can I,
it's a nicety, it's a formality.
could I read the paragraph at the top? As a compromise, perhaps? That at least gives a little bit of a background.
You should read this one all the way through just as final. This is it.
I don't want to hear it.
You do so good. I mean, honestly, you're that- I look up to you. I'm fine with it.
I would definitely be comfortable reading the intro paragraph and posting the entirety to on Facebook. See how,
I think that if you wanted to read anything, you know, the front of the paragraph, and then there's an end statement at the very end, which says, I hereby declare, you know, June 15th as World Elder Day.
Yeah.
Elder Abuse Day. That would be sufficient, and I think that gives credence.
Yeah.
To the proclamation.
thank you, CEO Brown.
That's the first paragraph.
Do we need to tie in another friendly amendment into any of that?
No.
No, we're okay. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Just checking. Okay, or am I okay? Do we need to make a motion before I read it?
We need to vote. don't we,
Yeah.
before-
You have a
Okay.
motion on the table.
All those in favor? Okay, carried unanimously. Okay. World Elder Abuse Awareness Day Proclamation. Preventing and addressing elder abuse is a shared responsibility and requires engagement and action on the part of all sectors of society. Preventing and reducing elder abuse starts with knowledge. All Albertans need to be aware of the factors that contribute to elder abuse, how to recognize it, and where to go for assistance if it happens. By understanding the nature and scope of elder abuse, older adults and their family members can take proactive steps to help prevent situations where it could occur. Therefore, I, Mayor Brendan Kelly of Black Diamond, Alberta, do hereby proclaim June 15th, 2022 as World Elder Abuse Awareness Day in Black Diamond, Alberta, and encourage all of our residents to recognize and celebrate seniors and their ongoing contributions to the success and vitality of Albertans. Thank you. Okay,
Very nice.
thank you. I thought so, yeah. Okay, 8.7. Just flip through the next 124 pages. Sorry, I brought paper. I'm so old school. All right, Westwinds Communities 2021 financial statements. If you want, I can speak to this one because I'm on that committee. So that's no problem for me. Everything, Westwinds runs a really tight ship and are very well managed and administrated, just like we are here at Black Diamond. And the only real hiccup, so Simon is their financial guru, and he's a really wise guy. The only real hiccup that they've come into is utilities because of the cost of natural gas and electricity. So when they did their budget, they obviously had anticipated some inflation, but not to the extent that they've been dealing with. The last time we spoke, they were quite a ways through their utilities budget already, to the extent of like between 30 and 40%. So there's ongoing conversations with the province about how they're going to handle this. But unfortunately, in large part, everybody's in the same boat with all this. So the province is probably, going to be reluctant to give any sort of major relief to any types of these groups. I don't really think there's a whole lot more. They've been doing a lot of renovations. You've probably seen there's been quite a few vehicles up at High Country, a lot of upgrades. They're trying to take some small steps because AC obviously contributes to your power consumption. So they're installing ceiling fans, tinting windows that are facing the sun to help just keep rooms down at least a couple of degrees and therefore help with the AC concerns. I think that's pretty much it in large part. I think that's it. So if anyone wants to give me a motion, they're more than welcome to. Councillor Thompson.
That council agree to accept the 2021 audited Westwinds Communities Supported Living Lodges financial statements, the 2021 audited Westwind Communities consolidated financial statements, and the 2022 Westwinds Communities Supported Living Lodges budget for information purposes.
Thank you, Councillor Thompson. Anyone like to speak to the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor to accept? Awesome, carried unanimously. Thanks, everybody. Okay. Carrying right along. Reports and committee minutes. Right, are we at 9.1? Yeah, sorry, no, that's okay. All good, all good. Joint Friendship Agreement Committee meeting minutes from March 9th. So just need a motion to accept those unless anyone would like to talk about them. I believe we're just accepting them, eh, for information. Yeah, can someone want to give me a motion? Deputy Mayor Kloiber.
Yeah.
Don't be so awkward.
Please accept them. Don't be so awkward. I can't tell you that's who I am.
No, I said bothered.
Oh,
Bothered.
bothered.
No. Goodness gracious. I wouldn't say that. That's rude. I wouldn't say that to someone. Gosh, you're awkward. Oh, so sorry.
Anyway, motion.
Okay, thank you very much. All those in favor to accept those as information? Carried unanimously. Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, and council reports. It's looking a little thin, folks. Not that I didn't speak for myself last time, but I've got two.
Mine was a day late.
I've got two this, oh, that's what I had last time. So you'll double up next time. You'll double up. Okay, yeah, so the committee reports are there. Does anyone have questions, comments? Motions to accept this information, anything like that? Councillor Lalonde.
We'll give a motion to accept the council reports for information purposes.
Thank you, Councillor Lalonde. All vote. So,
Yeah, the Alberta Energy and Parks has approved part of, at least their part of the West End upgrade, and it's going out to public hearings or public advertisements.
wonderful.
Yeah, we just found that out.
Thank you.
Just a few hours ago.
Wow.
So, did I miss anything in that? You guys got it as well?
We have it.
Yeah, okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah, now we expect that it will be appealed, but
One foot in front of the other at this point, and that's
exactly,
yeah.
AEP has come up and they've approved it, so.
Wonderful.
That's a step in the right direction.
Thank you, Councillor Bain, for all your diligence on that. Thank you, Councillor Thompson, for bringing it up.
Thank you.
That's only the one piece of it. The Water Act
The Water
approval
Act.
has not been completed yet.
Okay,
I meant to ask that and then I said, no, it just says AEP, so it's not Water Act.
It's not Water Act approval yet.
We were
Which is a
hoping to
different
advertise
piece.
both of them and get it all done at the same time, but hey, take what we get.
we will. Awesome. That's great news. Thank you, everyone. Okay, we do have a motion on the table. That was a great input. Anything further? Okay, all those in favor to accept the reports as information carried unanimously. Thank you very much. And I would make a friendly reminder to not submit them late, but I did that last week or last month, so I'm not missing cancer.
Yeah,
Okay, 9.3 CA report, April to May 2022. I will pass this one over to CAO Brown.
Just a couple other things just to update. I don't know if everybody's driven by our park and ride location at 606, but there's a nice green building there, which is our new fangled public washroom. That's gonna be
It's a
really
sea
cool when it's all done. Pardon?
it's a sea can, right? Wasn't it?
It was a container, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's all done in containers, all stainless steel inside, no porcelain anywhere. So for safety reasons. So all of those things have been taken into consideration. Work will be commencing on, now that council has agreed and authorized the EV charging stations. The electrician will be out there. The drain, we're gonna have some issues with the drain, but we'll sort those out over the winter months. So that, knock on wood, we're hoping to have completed by parade day, but I don't think it's going to be fully completed by parade day because we're waiting for the poles, the light poles, for the light standards. So we've got the lights, they're all LED, they're dark sky friendly, pointing down, they'll go in a north-south direction. And it'll all be really cool when it's all done, but by end of year, that project Park and Ride will finally be completed. There has been, just in that particular area, I don't know if council is aware, but we have the information out for the day use area. We're doing some public engagement on that. Happy to hear your thoughts with the rest of the community on what that day use area behind that Park and Ride location needs to look like. Public works, capital projects have all been approved, work orders are signed. So we've got that piece done. I have been having some challenges with the contractors for the town office completion. I did receive an email late today that they will be here starting next week. It'll take 2 to 3 days. There's some deficiencies in the work that they're also aware of at this point in time. So they'll be out early next week to start doing that. 2 to 3 days to finish that, be completed by parade day. very actively involved in the 3-stream rollout. Attending sessions at AG and at Rona, going to the school tomorrow to do some 3-stream rollout education for that. Carts have all been delivered throughout both the municipalities. Kitchen catchers have all been delivered. Limited problems in the delivery. So it took them 2 days and it's all good. I did send an email out to you earlier this evening, the trailer park and Ridgestone, so anywhere that's got Bearland condos, do have smaller carts because they have limited yard size or smaller green carts, organic carts, limited yard size. They don't have a lot of organics and they don't have a lot of room. So they got the smaller size. Everybody else, except for the commercial, with the exception of a couple, all have their blue carts and green carts. So that's been all completed.
Councilor Thompson?
I just have a question on that. I've spoken to some seniors up in
Bridgestone?
the Ridgestone, and they just don't want the bins at all.
Oh, we know.
And so is there a problem that, like, the one couple I spoke to said, we don't mind paying, we know it's a service that's being offered. We don't mind paying for the service, but we won't use these bins.
That's right.
So can they opt out and say, we don't want the bins, we don't mind paying this service?
You know, at this point, just because we've minimized it, like we've launched the program community-wide, what we have been telling people until we have to go through the first year of adjustments, just keep your bins. If you don't need to use them, don't use them. Use them for something else.
Yeah, no, and I get that, but there's limited room for those people, and that's the reason why they don't want them.
Yes.
Is the limited room. Like,
Yeah, I understand.
some of them have got the single garages that they can't hide the bins in because there's just room to walk around a vehicle.
Mhm.
So I just don't understand why we can't work with those people somewhat. And if they don't want those bins, but they're okay with paying for the service, I don't understand why we can't work with them. Because it is tough for some of those
Yeah,
people.
many of those condo units do have a little bit of a back area. They don't have to put them in the garage, but they can put their bin in the back area beside their deck and not use it and not even look at it and just find a different storage location for it. You know, I have been working with the condo board up there, and will continue to work with the condo board up there for those people who are concerned about that. Having said that, I'm also working with Mountain View Manor, who want to have curbside recycling and organic pickup and multifamily in those particular, because they're deemed multifamily, do not have that because they have privatized solid waste. So could we move those bins over from Ridgestone to Mountain View? Yes, maybe. But can we get the program implemented first?
Yeah, I just worry, and you know, like you say, they can put them behind their place under the deck or whatever, but you know, like they're still gonna be outside, they could get damaged, and so it just would be better that if they don't want them, but they're okay with paying for the service, they don't get them. And those bins then go into our stash for.
I'll continue to be working with the board.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyway, we believe that it's turned out to be a very successful program on getting the launch. First pickup will be the 1st of June for your organics and your blue cards. Wednesday.
I have one more question. I haven't been able to attend any of the educational sessions. And for our organics, the little kitchen bins.
Yes.
They're great, and you can buy those little bags.
Yes.
Almost anywhere. But what about like leaves and grass and stuff like that? Does that have to go in bags, or does it just, okay, that was my only question. Thank you.
The only thing that really needs to be bagged in the large bins, or even in your kitchen for that matter, is animal feces.
Okay.
Yeah, they do need to be bagged in compostable bags. Yeah.
So you could fill that bin and just take it outside and dump it into your compost and then just rinse it and put it back on your counter. Love it.
If you want to, as different options, as we've been talking to people for the last 3 weeks on what you can do on those the kitchen catcher bins, you don't even need to buy bags. You can line them with newspaper. You could put,
Mm.
you know, paper bags in there. It does not have to be those compostable bags. We have, and not that I want to advertise anything, but there's been significant stock brought in at both EG and at Rhoda for those compostable bags if you want the kitchen catcher bags.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Good
So we were able to score that as well.
I have a question about that, and just in relation to bags, and while we're talking about this, for some reason it popped in my head. Why are all the dog poo bags in all the receptacles huge?
I can't answer that question right now. I will look.
Okay, because we're talking about bags, but I didn't use them the other day, and I was like, what is this waste of plastic nightmare?
I've got a big dog.
It's a full trash bag.
It's not a full trash.
Are you sure you didn't
He's
just
not ripping
pull
them.
too hard?
No.
And you just pulled out
Must
the
have
whole
got one
roll?
that
Wasn't perforated properly.
Okay, maybe that's what it was, because I was like, what is happening with this thing?
Now, in all fairness, the good point to that is the counselor knew the responsible thing to do was get a bag and not leave it behind. So I applaud you for that, sir. Thank you for being a leader of the community.
People are animals who leave their animal feces behind.
Oh, yeah. We won't go down that
Okay,
road today.
correct, right.
The kids around your mom.
All right,
Deputy Kloiber.
yes,
I just wanted to ask about the transit numbers. Those are one way, not round trips.
that's correct, one way. Single trips.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Protective Services, we're looking at launching what do we call it, a positive ticket program that will be launching beginning of June. And we have started our strategy meetings as our working groups. Planning has started their strategy meetings with their working groups.
I have a question, just, what is the positive ticket program? Is that for like handing out ice cream to kids doing positive things?
So you're riding with your bike helmet on?
Yeah.
You know, or you're walking on the sidewalk properly, or you're crossing the street by looking both ways and sticking your hand out. So there'll be a Friday freezy and a, you know, the positive ticket thing that'll be going on. So, yeah. So that's gonna be happening.
Kids?
I'm sure Councillor Thompson, if you know.
Make sure you put your hand up.
Wave to Jim.
And you're riding your bike.
Ice cream coupons are probably Dairy Queen. Thank you.
You're welcome. We've got to the point, and council is aware that we're working on the offsite levy project. We've been working really diligently on getting this forward. So we have agreement in principle that will be coming, there'll be a presentation coming to JFAC, to both councils. The methodology between the two communities is significantly different, and we need to get them aligned. So we thought that the greatest opportunity would be at JFAC, so everybody can be aware of how we're moving ahead with our levy project. And Turner Valley is moving ahead with their levy project, but we need to have these aligned because it will be inadequate for future development. And so everybody needs to be part of that conversation.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now-
On the 26th, the offsite levy workshop, is that just a repeat or is it?
No, that's a whole new one. There will be,
Okay.
so 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock is a repeat. And then from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock is the rate portion of it.
Okay. I remember that now. Thank you.
Yeah, so for those who weren't able to attend the original offsite levies, you need to be brought up to speed around the methodology and how we're moving these forward before you start looking at rates. It's really important for council to be aware because it impacts development and that impacts future growth.
Is it virtual?
Pardon me?
Is it virtual?
No.
Bring fish.
You're gonna bring fish? Okay.
I like fish.
All right.
Maybe like.
Okay. Mountain bike track, we're working through that. And we're getting there. We're getting there. And let's see what else. I don't think there's really any other pieces that we need to talk about?
Thanks, Shirley.
Yeah. The U of A study was very, very interesting. We're making a paper.
Cool. Counselor Thompson.
Just going back to the mountain bike track, just so everyone knows, I'm volunteering with the facilities group for the summer games. So if there's anything, I don't think there's anything we can do to help at this time, but just so you're aware that they've divided everything up into different working groups, facilities, and there's 6, I think.
Yeah, and our person on the board of directors has kind of graciously left the board of directors, and, you know, resigned his position as the volunteer group guy out here. So there has been another person that's been put in that replacement.
For
So,
facilities
or volunteers.
oh, volunteers.
Yeah.
Counselor Bain.
It happened after your report went in, but are you at liberty to talk about what happened in Willow Ridge on Thursday? 3 fire trucks and
I'm
ambulance.
not at liberty to talk about that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I do know what happened, but I'm not at liberty.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Take a motion to accept unless there's further questions. Counselor Lon.
Motion to accept for information purposes.
Everyone's doing it on purpose. They're doing it.
Whatever, bring it on.
All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you, Daryl. Okay, moving right along. Let's get through these 2. Correspondence and information, 10.1. I'm gonna try Town of Mundare. Is that
That's
Mundare? Okay, all right.
Do we need to also give a motion to accept your expenses, or is that all inclusive?
That's all inclusive.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thanks for asking. Okay, 10.1 correspondence and information, Town of Mundare. Policing. This just goes in line with what we talked about 2 meetings ago, I believe. So if anyone would like to speak to it, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, we'll look at both of these first, before taking one. Perfect. Okay. So if anyone wants to speak to that, they're welcome to. And then the second piece, the Alfred Wildcat Days Parade invitation. Is there as well. So if anyone wants to speak to either of those, please do. Otherwise, Deputy Mayor Kloiber,
Will give you a motion. to
Please.
Accept both
wonderful.
items.
Okay.
Information.
Thank you very much. If anyone would like to speak to it, please do now. Otherwise, Councillor Bain?
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Voting.
That's okay. Otherwise, all those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Okay. At this time, 7:53, we are going to go into a closed. However, would anyone like to take a minute in between closed and otherwise? Okay, so we're gonna have to come back before I take a motion to go into closed, or can I take a motion now and then take a 5-minute? No.
Recess first.
Recess first, come back in, then go to closed. Okay. So for anyone not viewing the Calgary Flames Edmonton Oilers game, please go tune in now. And we will recess for 5 minutes right now at 7:53, back at 7:58. (8:01). Okay, gonna call the meeting back at 8:01. We were able to watch the first period of the game in ×3 speed during that break. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna ask for a motion to go into close. Please and thank you. Councillor Thompson. All those in favor to go into closed? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much. And Vernon, give us a thumbs up.
Back, you could reconvene, please.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, come on, sorry.
Yes. So I'll take the motion, Councillor Bain.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All those in favor to come into closed session? Carried unanimously. And am I just adjourned?
I know I need that motion.
You need the motion.
I'll put
Oh,
it back on
sorry,
the screen
right,
for
the
you.
3 people, my
Except I
apologies,
closed it.
my apologies.
Okay, I have the motion that I need. The council agree that Deputy Mayor Veronica Kloiber, Mayor Brendan Kelly, and Councillor Daryl Lalonde will meet with CAO Charlene Brown to present the 2022 CAO evaluation at an agreeable time.
Make that motion.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Kloiber. Oh, right. Okay, all those in favor? Carried unanimously. And at 8:46, I will adjourn this meeting. Thanks, everyone.